Thank you, Mr. Eli. Thank you, my king. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See, guys, this is a good friend. Thank you. The timing, thank you. Because I was about to say, look here. All right, chat. I'm going to be very honest with you. All day, I have been fighting this damn dog. I've been fighting this animal. When I tell you I am sick of it, chat, I don't think I don't understand how people have dogs. I can't do it. I actively want to crash out so many times. But thank you, Eli. Thank you for sacrificing yourself as tribute, my friend. Thank you. Why are you fighting the dog? What's it called? She got fleas again. And so for the entire day, I have I have fought her in making sure I could get them all off of her. When I tell you, chat, they can they can have her. They can keep her. I'm good. I'm done. I'm really done. My dog is still alive. Oh my gosh. She's not dead. She's not gone, guys. She's still here. I was gonna buy Dying Light, but I saw you did some. Oh, okay. Oh, you work until okay. So, all right, say less. Then that means I can play all night then. Oh my gosh! Finally, I can actually do something I've wanted to do all day. Thank you. But you might still get a black. Wow. I mean, the dog is pretty. She's she is pretty. She is pretty bad black. I will say that. You're welcome to play as well. I'm not on all the. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Trust me, it's okay. I promise you, it's okay. Thank Dying Light. I would say thank you, Spunk. Thank you, Eli. Thank you for allowing this to happen. All right, so I'm about to show my face. Give me a second. What's it called? I'm getting ready. I'm ready for more Silent Hill. Last night was so much fun, chat. I haven't had fun on a game like this since Stellar Blade. I love Stellar Blade, chat. I just love chat. Is it crazy that I just say I love gaming? If I could, I would play Ghost of Yotai of Yote. Yote. I would play it. I would. If I had a PlayStation, actually, hold on. One lucky person. Hintrub, are you hyped for Full Metal Girl Schoolgirl? What? I have not seen any gameplay for that game. And maybe that's a good thing. Dude, I want to finish on it before you. It's just gonna be on that crate. Hold on, wait, Spunk. Are you willing to send over the PlayStation for me, sir? Or could we do like a little screen share, sir? Like I could just like play the game off of you. I would appreciate that if we could. Thank you. I mean, I like I said, that's the last game I care about. Like Expedition 33. I'm gonna finish it. I will say, trust me, chat. What's it called? I now need to figure out how the hell I'm gonna do this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Are you? Oh, you don't have a capture card? It's fine. I have one over here. You can just you can send it my way. I'll give you my address and everything. We'll have fun. All dinner at PS5. You can have my life. What? What? What are you talking about? No, I'm so serious. The only time. Oh, I could. Yeah, that is right. I could stream it from there, huh? All you need is a good Wi-Fi connection. Well, well, at least I have AT&T. Now, chat. Imagine having Spectrum. No, that's not. No, that's no bueno. The heck is that thing? What are you? What are you talking? What are you talking about, Swan? What are you talking about? All right, now I will say, chat. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna play some music in the background as I You got CenturyLink? Oh my gosh, CenturyLink! I will not take this disrespect. Okay, I know. I look here. I know someone in this chat right now who has CenturyLink, but I will not. I will not at them like that. All right, the music is going. Chat, hold on. Look here. No, look here. You look here, buddy. I don't have. I'm not the one with CenturyLink Wi-Fi. Okay, look here. I very much so. You know, my you got CenturyLink, buddy. All right, you know what? You know what, Tello? Let's see the. All right, you know. All right, you know what? Let's compare Wi-Fi, man. What do you have in Philly? You got Gotham Knights. No, sorry, Gotham Inc. You got the you got the Gotham. Is that what I'm hearing? You know what, Chad? Dude, when I don't like cow pants, I have a whole bunch of cow pants, and now all of them. Now I look like. Now I'm gonna look. As soon as I, dude, why is this tighter than my other arm? Why is my right arm tighter than my left arm? This makes it sense. Oh, chat! Look, I want to show you guys something. Gotham Knights. Oh no, you got boys? No, you look here, buddy. Look here. I know what you have. I know what you are. Okay, router for router. Look here, my router is top tier. Oh, chat! Look here. Chat, I'm only gonna have like 2. I love these things so much. These things are so good. Ew. You guys see, you guys all, I know what you guys are. I know what you guys like. You guys like those caramel nut M&Ms. I know what you guys are, chat. Those are alright. These are great. Wait, you'll definitely stream Yo Titan Cord? Oh my gosh, please. I know what Kit Kats? I know what you like. It makes sense. You're from and Crunch. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, chat, hold on. You guys want to hear some ASMR? Hold on. Look at it. Hello, chat, and welcome to the midnight selection to my streams. Now, I like to really apologize for going live so late. This was not my plan at all. I wanted to be live at 6 o'clock, but then my dog started itching. Can you let me? Okay. Mods. What are we talking about? See, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to blow up, and then someone's going to be like, oh my gosh, I need Hint Trap. Look at that dark stud. I'm mad. Okay, oh, hell no. Get him out. Mods. Take his ability to read comics. Mods. Take a good C's ability to read Blue Lock, please. Bam. Thank you. Low to your God. Oh my gosh. Chat, I'm addicted to your patties. You know, you said a word to my mother. You know, I said that one time, and someone that I knew that was from New York was very upset with me that I said that. I was like, I can't say that? And she's like, no, you can't. But I was like, but my dad's from New York. Doesn't that make me like half New Yorker? And she said, word to my mother, yo, if you say that again, I'm beating the black off of you. I said, oh. I feel like I was talking to Nina. And I was like, oh, heck no. I'm scared. You're not even a big Blue Lock. You know, if you don't like Blue Lock, if you're not a big Blue Lock fan, then I guess I'm just not a big Kingdom fans, man. I don't know what we have going on. Anyway, chat, we're playing the game of the year, Silent Hill F. I'm hoping Silent Hill wins. If it does, that means Japanese games are on top once again. And that means for me, I still have a career. So, oh my gosh, chat. Hold on. Oh, chat, my arms have gotten bigger. What the hell? Oh yeah, chat. The working out has worked. 1 meal a day? That 1 meal a day is crazy. Have you seen the 2026 Nissan? I have not. Nissan's making a comeback? Wait, the Sentra's making... Ew! I don't know a single soul who's like, yeah, man, I love myself a Sentra. It's gonna look ugly. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. What the hell am I looking at? This is nasty. Chat, this is disgusting. What is this? What's on my screen? We gotta see the interior. Whoa! Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Oh my gosh. Whoa, wait. Actually, you know what car I want, chat? Hold on. I'm gonna show you guys, okay? It looks like a Honda Accord, and that's the problem. I'm telling you what's gonna happen, okay? You're gonna get on the interstate, all right, and this always happens, all right? You're gonna have someone who's got the Honda Accord crash into you, okay? It's gonna be a 2006 model. It never fails. And what's gonna happen is that the lady's gonna come out and say, I didn't see him. He hit my baby. We gotta go and fight. The amount of times I've heard this story, look here, anyone who drives a Honda cannot drive. Okay? Alright, look here. I drive, and I'm just gonna be honest, I drive an Infiniti FX35, okay? You want me to look up at the Full Metal Girl? You know what? I can do that for like a second. Alright. What do you mean? Honda drivers can drive? No. Honda, Toyota, Accord drivers can't drive. What's it called? Honda Accord drivers cannot drive. Anyone with a Toyota cannot drive. You gotta run. No. See, come to the South. Come to Georgia. Kia and Honda? No. Kia drivers can drive. I've only been in 2 accidents in my entire life, chat, okay? One was the short bus, and the other one was a Kia. No, I'm telling you, man. At that absolute, I was just like, what in the world? I was like, are you serious? I just looked, stared, and was like, oh, hell no. I'm not doing this. Hold on, you said, what is this? Schoolgirl? I'm scared to see this. Etsy's about to send me, he's about to send me to prison. Oh, wait, this actually doesn't look bad. Wait, whoa. I thought Etsy was about to send me to prison. It's M? Air? W? Oh, wait. Tell her, you know Air? Whoa. Wait, you know Air? Am I not alone anymore? I forget that you guys are actually, I forget some of you guys are actually advent, anime watchers sometimes. Why was that so friggin' slow? Oh, hell no. Do I have anything else open? Womp. He made a clan. Why wouldn't I don't know. Actually, hold on. Let's see this. Actually, this game doesn't look bad. Hold on. Chat. Oh, you know what? Well, I need to start playing games on release, by the way. Oh, hold on. Has anyone seen what we're getting for Monster Hunter? I'm ready. It's being a live streamed each crap. Okay. What game is tied? Look here. What game is this? It's called Full Metal Schoolgirls. This looks like this actually looks like a fun game. I was scared that this was going to be a actually, this doesn't look bad. Etsy. You know what? Maybe see, every time I call you Etsy, then everyone's gonna get mad at me. But I'm just gonna call him Etsy. It makes sense. But this doesn't look like a bad game. But you know what? A game Wilds. Yes, Wilds has new content. Wilds. They has anyone seen the armor set? Dude, I gotta get back into that. It's Easty. Well, all right. You know what? Easty, Etsy. I need the nose on there. Right? Are you from New York? Depending on this answer, will determine if I say the name correctly or not. Okay. I need to know. You even started Wilds yet? Oh, you mean Peak? I have not. I haven't started. Hold on, but we need to look at this together, okay? Wait, you're from New York? Ah. Alright, then Easty it is, man. But don't live there anymore? I know you're from Queens, bruv. Word to your mother. I know you're from Queens, man. Bro, I was right there. In the bodega. I was there, man. Alright. I don't care about the chocobos, okay? What I care is this nice black, beautiful outfit right here. How? I just know. This is such a chat. I can't wait to have my ass blasted by this boss right here. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's gonna be Behemoth all over it. You see what they're gonna have us doing, chat?
I'll take care of it.
They announced this so long ago, bro. What are you talking about? This was like what? No, they didn't show the armor set for it. They only said that a collab was happening between the two. They never said who and who. What was the monster going to be? Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's time. But look at this outfit, dude. Why can Great Sir just do that? I'm ready. It was on IG? Oh, I just did not see that. Oh, I guess I am late to the party. And it's free? Oh my, meat! Yeah, dude, I can't, oh my gosh. I need more Monster Hunter, man. I don't think anyone understands that there's good games and then there's Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter is just it's just my favorite game of the year. Oh, free title update 4. What's this? Is that the fucking Elder Dragon? Wait, Gogamiza? What? I'm not fighting that bastard. No, I'm not fighting him. I refuse to fight him. No. Oh, if Wilds had good stuff on. Yes. Oh my gosh, Gogamiza is gonna be on what? Dude, what? Okay, Arch Temperate is on Wednesday on October. We need more stuff, man. Guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead and buy Monster Hunter. Okay, Capcom needs the money. You know what, chat? I do plan. You know what? If I ever do go back to Japan, I will make an entire video dedicated to going to the Monster Hunter Cafe. Okay, and I'm gonna thank my gloat. My Siberian, not Siberian. He's not even fucking Siberian. My Senegal. Well, Rashi, buddy, simmer down. I might play it, but don't know which to start with. Look here. If you're like an OG like me, you start with Generations. But are you still buying the Kingdom birthday? Your birthday's on the 9th. Actually, now here's the thing, okay? This isn't cap. This isn't lies or anything, okay? My sister's birthday. I gotta go somewhere for my sister's birthday, okay? I'm taking her. It's the 9th. No, oh, you know what? You're alright. My fault. Bro, I'm black. Why can't I say the N-word? Holy? Are you sure you're black, Rashi? Are you sure? Alright, let me stop playing. God, I love this York peppermint patty. What was it, the 6th? Bro, stop. Are you sure you're black, Rashi? Rashi, are you sure you're black, buddy? Could we even say, wait, Hentram, how old is Tello turning? You're dangerous? Are you sure you're black, Rashi? Tello's turning 24. Yeah, because he's doing nursing. Yes, I remember. What? No, don't say. Why would you say that to yourself? So you look here. You're good. Hold on. Post game summary. Oh, is that my stuff? Oh, that's my stuff. Okay. Huntrap is from my uncle. Rash, you're older than me. You have me by like 9 years. What are you talking about? I think the only people that are in this chat that are not older than me is like maybe 2 or 3 people. The rest of you? Buddy, start packing those kneecaps. You're done. Excuse me, your life is done. Okay. Ooh, Konami. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Konami, for making a good game again. I miss you, Konami. Wait, I am serious. Bro, I can screen share. You can screen share his PS5? Oh my gosh. No, no, no. Okay, yeah. You're Rashi, you're 24. You're older than me. Yeah, chat. I'm 21. Yeah. Wishful thinking, I know, right? With the remote play it works? What do you mean? What do you mean? Rashi, are you sure, buddy? I know how old you are. I know how old you are. I know what's it called? I know how old you are. All right, chat. Let's welcome back to the greatest game I've ever played. Ribbon the pink rabbit costume? Rabbit costume? The hell's the rabbit costume? All right, so last time we had fought our first boss. We're going to Rinko's house. Shu's being an ass. Buddy just kind of disappears and reappears. He keeps TPing everywhere. And the fuck happened to my game? Why does it look like this? How are you older than me, Intrap? I was, you know what? I'm gonna let you think that one out. Okay. We're gonna think. Let's think together, Etsy. You know what? No, just because you said that, you're going back to Etsy. Let's think about it, Etsy. All right, let's think about it together. All right, so I'm 22. Okay. All right. You were born back in 2009. I know how old you are. And then from there, you know, I've got you by 6 years. Or no, you're 14 or 15. What are you? Okay, what if I just did high and then everything else is on medium? You're 20? No, you're not. You were not born 2005. Please stop. Nobody. No, you're not. He's 14, bro. See, that's what I thought. Okay, there we go. The game. Okay, now we're back to the game. Now I just want to see these costumes. What's this pink costume? We're wearing it for the rest of the game, chat. This is the best costume in the game. Yep. Chat. Yep. This is how we're murdering people. Yep. We're doing it like this. Yep. Okay. All right. He's 14. I knew it. Oh my gosh. Turn your lights off. No, if I do that, I'm gonna get scared, dude. I don't. Okay, look here. There's one thing about me, chat. I don't like scary games. Okay. I realistically only wanted to play this only because I was just like, you know what? I think it would be a fun time. It'd be a nice experience with chat. This game is not scary, bro. You don't understand. This spatial audio scares the crap out of me. Okay. This spatial audio, like you couldn't even see me. I'm too dark. One of the unfortunate perks of being my color. No, man. The game itself isn't scary. No. Like I don't think you guys understand what makes this scary. Hold on. Does the game look ass at 30? Probably not. Oh, actually, the game runs. Wait. You want me to do lights off? You know what? Why not? On Clover Soul, this isn't scary? Oh, why would you put this on Clover? Woo! Chat, you couldn't even see me. Look, I'm too black. Oh my gosh. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Let me brighten up a little bit. You guys have to at least see me. Okay, why is she doing that? Alright, so if I remember correctly, I'm going off somewhere. You know what, for a second, Smoke, I thought you were gonna say on Rashi's Soul, and I was gonna start chuckling. Yo, where'd you go? Oh, okay. Alright. Mods. Take his ability, don't have sound on, but you can't wait for the YouTube video? Okay. Wait, there's no sound? Are you serious? Shoot, don't piss me off. No, dude. Give me the chance. I'm bashing his head in first. Oh, he doesn't have it? Okay. Crying? Elriz? I don't like this guy, man. Okay, that's cool. To be in the water? Do you not know what year you're in, buddy? Your grandparents were just dying in a war in the water. You know how insensitive that's. Actually, you know that sounds crazy to say. In the rice fields. Okay. Oh, dude, he's trying to fancy her, and it's going bad. We can go back to those days, just you and me, Hanako. Oh, he hit her with the "I'm here for you." Yeah. Japanese plot line, B plot right here, guys. Oh, he's a partner. Ooh. And look, he's gonna be nowhere to be found. Talking about Renko like she mattered. Dude, he's gone again. This is what I'm talking about. Where did he go? Okay, so chat, here's my thing. Oh, hell no. My objective is to escape. Oh, hell no. The field that's all misty is really scary. I keep thinking someone's there, but it's always just a scarecrow with a creepy face. But there's one scarecrow that's not actually scared. The only reason it's making a scary face is because it got a thorn sticking into it and it's hurt. So all you have to do is take out the thorn and it'll tell you which way to go. But don't get close to the really scary scarecrow. Someone said that there's monsters who's only pretending to be a scarecrow that likes eating little kids. Oh hell no. I think I have a good idea what this is. Oh, it's a sickle. Oh hell yeah. Also, all right, so hold on. I just want to talk about, so last time, you know what? Whoever did the facial features for her is like, this looks really good. So last time we were playing the Silent Hill F. We're playing as Hanako, a girl who doesn't like her parents. Her fathers are drunk, her mother just kind of sits there. It's the 60s, and a place called Enogo Kokoro. I think that's what it's called. Enogo Kokoro. I think that's what it's called. And she's having a psychological warfare, man. I don't know what's happening. Her best friend got fucking murdered by the thog. The fog, not the thog. What the hell? And we're currently looking for her friend, Renko. I think she's kind of safe. And we also know a masked man who I think is in hell. But that's currently as of right now, and that's what's going on. So let's get to it. Can you imagine how I feel? I'll put on my polite smile for now. Uh-oh. You're a bot. Oh, you're an enemy, and I know you are. Oh, fuck off. Oh, yeah. Please get the fuck away from me, man. Bro. Oh, my God. Can we not? Can we not? Oh, my God. Can we not? Yeah, I'm just gonna start bashing your head in. Can we not? Go again. Oh my gosh. Can we not? Thank you. Can we? Okay, so we don't touch the girls. Got it. We don't touch them. We don't touch the girls. Bro, I can't. Dude, that fucking scared me. Dude, that actually scared the shit out of me. What? Oh my god. Oh. Can we, I've got nothing. Can we not? Oh my gosh. Okay. And then... Oh, excuse me. Holy shit, that scared the crap out of me. Oh my god.
血が止まらない。なんとかしないと。
I'm not touching any of these girls. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. All of you? Yeah, no, bro. Where do I go? Come on. I fucking hate Shu, man. This absolute bastard left me for dead. Because of course he did. There's got to be something that I could use, please. Nothing? Okay. It said it's a scary face. The one with the scary face is the one that... No, I don't go to the one with the scary face. Is it you? Well, we figured out the hard way that... Not the one that's smiling. It's the one that's like sad or in pain. So it's probably you. No, you're fucking smiling, alright. Oh my god. Is it you? Please. Flashcard is okay, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Okay. I just go this way. Lovely. Where the fuck do I go now? Oh hell no, Chad. This is spooky. Okay. I wonder if the bleeding is getting worse. I hope not, because I don't have anything. So you're just letting me open that up for what? Okay. Okay. Let's see this. Can you imagine how I feel what it's like to have been deceived for so long? Anything else new? Oh god. I think it's the one with the painful... You have a smile on your face. See, I have the now... I mean, what do you want me to do? There is not shit we can do. Can you imagine how I feel what it's like to have been... Oh, can you... I'll put on my polite smile for now. Can you imagine how it feels what it's like to be deceived for so long? Oh, I need to deceive, like a face of a deceit. Not you. I think like a deceived face would be like one that's like a smiling one. So you maybe? I'm probably wrong. I fucking knew it, man. There is not shit I could do there. There is not shit I could do there. So, alright, the first one's a smile. The second one's like a... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What do I need? Can you imagine how I feel what it's like to have been deceived for so long? Um, you, please. Fucking hell, I knew it. Oh my god. Come on, please. Come on, please.
いい加減にしろ。痛い。
Hold on. Is my wound getting worse? It's not ticking down, is it, chat? No. I refuse to freaking believe that. A deceitful smile? Deceived? I gotta see, like, oh, deceived. Oh, it's you. Yeah, because deceit. That's what I said when I saw. I was so scared. Okay. This way? Okay. Okay, where is it? Okay. So the scarecrows have got to be. Oh, hell no. Am I stuck? Okay, so it's saying to go straight. Oh no, this one. Oh, okay. All right, it's not too crazy. All right, cool. Totally not friggin' worried, chat. What the hell? Can't do jack about this right now. Here we go. All right, let's see this. Can you imagine how I feel? He never once looked at me the way he looked at you, not once. Okay, so you're looking at it. Which girl's not getting looked at? He did not look the way. Hold on, what was it? Can you imagine how I feel? He never once looked at me the way he looked at you, not once. So, by process of elimination, everyone's looking at each other, but you. I wonder why I called you over. Yeah, that makes sense. I was about to say, what in the world? Okay, so this way we go. There better not be a boss fight. If there's a boss fight, I'm gonna be pissed off. Also, screw Shu. And this is Bro's fault. We would have been in a better predicament if we just stayed together. But he never wants to stay with me. I don't even know if the guy knows what the word staying together even means. He's literally just an...
早く手当てしなきゃ。
I would love to, Hanako. I really would, but I kind of can't do that right now. Oh, the fog's too thick. Fog's too thick. Go back, go back, go back. You. Oh, I just went too far. You've always been such an eyesore. Okay. I just need someone who either has their eyes gouged out or has just a disgusted face. Oh, you're not looking. It's you. Oh, damn. I could have just lied to you and told you to go any which way. Okay. Please let me leave. Please let me out of here. The fuck is that? Oh, oh my god, that fucker's moving? Oh! All this ramenese.
どうしてまたここに。
I went too damn far. Okay, so straight this path. Yep, no, yeah. You can screw off. And the one's blowing this way. Oh my god, I've got another one. You hurt me and even hurt him too. Do you know how it feels to force a smile when I'm staring at that disgusting face of yours? Okay. So I need a face of 2 people being hurt. There's no fucking way you're actually after me. Hello? There's 2 of you?
血が止まらない。なんとかしないと。
Fucking hell, dude. I can't. I hate this so much. Bro. Bro. Please, piss off.
いい加減にしろ。
Yeah. Bro.
でもお供え物だったよね。
Bro. It's you? Okay. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Okay. It's fine. Bro. I have like no HP and I gotta figure out how the fuck I need to leave. Oh my gosh. I'm over here badly wounded. Hold on. What is it? Can you imagine? Can you imagine how I feel? You hurt him. Wait a minute. You hurt me and even hurt him, too. Do you know what it feels like to? Okay, smart. I need like 2 people being stabbed. Okay. What? Is this real? Dude, this game, my heart just can't, man. Or I'm fucking dying over here. Like, what is this? 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 Hanako, please. I need 2 hurt people. You've been stabbed. You were stabbed. You were stabbed. You were not stabbed. Well, you know what? She's smiling. Like, it happens all the time. A kid falling to their death in the water. Oh. Holy hell. Okay. Please let me go. The hell?
おい、ひなこ。
あれさっきのは
Don't piss me off, Shu.
ひなこ。
リンコは
呼んでみよ
I don't like this guy. He pisses me off too much.
う。リンコ。
Oh, Ringo!
シュウだ。いるなら返事してくれ。
来てくれたんだ。あ、ひなこも無事でよかった。
怪我はないか。家族は。
私は大丈夫。でも誰もいないの。足の悪いおばあちゃんまでいないなんて、こんなの絶対に変。誰もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし。
Yeah, we're so cooked.
何が何だかわからないよ。
So I get now. Rinko Light is in love with Shu, this dolt of a bastard, and oh, we got a love triangle going on here. Oh, this I can smell it all over here. Oh, yeah, this is bad. Ooh. I was like, it would be funny if I'm interested in this pink bunny outfit. No, this is for the rest of the game, chat. This is so funny. I'm a girl on my way to being murdered. Yeah, Sakaku is done. Gone.
これ以上ここにとどまるのは危険だ。
True.
町を出た方がいい。
How?
街を出るって、お父さんやお母さんは、みんなは助けを呼ぶためにも、今は行動を急いだ方がいいかもしれない。
True.
みんなを見捨てるわけじゃない。助けるためにも一度脱出する必要があるんだ。
でも街を出るって言っても
Huh?
あれじゃ無理だよ。
無理ってどういう意味だ。
そっちの窓から鉄橋が見えるよ。霧が濃くなければ。
What do you mean we're stuck here?
嘘だろ。
鉄橋がどうしよう。
東の鉄橋がダメなら
We could just swim.
西の県道を目指そう。
州の家の裏山を抜けるのか。
Mm.
裏山越えられるの。
わさび田への道がある。うちだけの抜け道だ。リンコ、念のため薬や絆創膏を持っていきたい。
台所に救急箱あるよ。取ってくるね。あ、私も一緒に行こう。手伝う。
相棒が一緒なら安心だ。
She's She's like, no, bitch, leave me alone. Chu's gonna get himself fucking killed. Look at him. Dude has nothing. He's not great. He's not Onizuka. Oh, hell no. Did she push me down the fucking stairs? Oh, hell no. In the words of TikTok, as you bask your son into the sun, I sink into the shadows. As a great man on TikTok said, this is how people are getting slimed out. No. And now we're back in hell. Okay. Where's that damn fox? Where's that kitsune, right? Come in, kitsune.
私一体
I'll tell you what happened. Fucking damn Rinko's an ass.
いた。もう少し待っててくれてもいいのに。
Okay. I'm gonna go right. Bro, please. I can't. My heart. Look here. I've got 4 different family members who suffer from heart conditions. I don't want to be the 5th one. Please. Do I have to go in there?
早く行かなきゃ。誰？
Mom, I don't want to go, please. Looks like it. Okay, I just need to go the other way. Okay. I don't like how I can go under that. That means a chase is about to happen. Oh, storage room key. Yippee! We love storage rooms, right, chat? Heals. Yeah, please. We're gonna need it so much. Oh, no Emma. Lovely. Decrease enemy line of sight, please. Okay.
あれは何？
What? You know, for a second I thought I saw something in there. I was gonna say, oh, yay. Okay. Chad, I feel like I'm at a point where I might even shit myself, man. was about to say he's behind me, isn't he? You've got to be fucking kidding me. Is this real? Chad, I'm genuinely scared. I can do like an hour and 30 of this, man. 90 minutes. That's all I can give it. Spooky. Okay, so dude, these puzzles are everywhere. Don't make me go in there, please. I'm so cooked. Not a single soul's in here but me. Don't believe the Foxword. Stay away from the western room. The western room. Hinako is mine. Her fingers, her lip. What? What? Every last drop of blood that can squeeze from her is mine. I forbid anyone from laying so much as a finger on her. I shall say it until my throat is raw. Hinako is mine? Okay, buddy. Hey, just because it's Japanese, it's Japan in the 1960s does not mean I consent to anyone over the age of it.
あそこ開いてたっけ？
It is. But you know what that is? That's the fucking West Gate. We're so immensely cooked here. We're so cooked. Oh, there's an emblem? Okay. Please be another side. Oh, is this the... Oh. No. I have to go to the West Gate, don't I? Wonder what that pretty little thing's chirps will sound like when I tear off that mask of hers. That girl before last was exquisite, an exquisite specimen. I can barely hold myself every time I think. Bro, this girl is obviously of age, underage. Guys, I'm scared. Ooga ooga. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we know where we gotta go now, chat. What do you see before you're getting cooked in Silent Hill F? A nice place in a nice townhouse in Ikebukuro, and my dumb ass is gonna stay right there in fucking Chiba. Oh, say, can you see what the fuck is on the... Hold on. That's Hanako! Chat, I swear that's her. I don't know her pretense. But this is starting to span from a really long time ago. Hanako, you want to say anything? Oh, Hanako. What? Don't trust him. Bro, give me this little sleeve. There's gonna be a chase scene. Okay, chat. I'm ready. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Dude, that screen flicker just fucked me up. I almost shitted myself. Okay. The hell? Bro, I cannot. Run! It's time. Get me the fuck away. That's not what I wanted. Come here, you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mm. Die, woman. Please tell me I have a lantern. Hanako, please. But you know what? It's fine. I've got my weapon of choice now. I'm not scared of anything.
これ大事なものだと思うけど。すいません。お借りします。
Sorry, no, screw that. Even if it's special for somebody, hello, I need it. The last thing you see before you get fucking your ass beat in fucking Silent Hill F. The yokai are right after you. You got a fox boy just trying to give me your soul. Give me your soul, no. Give me your soul, no. I gotta put something in your throat again.
開かない。
She's dead. Yeah, dude. No. I don't trust this one bit. Nope. 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 It's okay. You know what? Fuck off. My eye. It fucking burns. What? What the fuck? Oh my god. Like, I'm over here, like, are you serious? Okay. After I get out of here, chat, we shall end stream. Dude, Sakuko is, she's dead. Dead. Gone. She's not coming back. Let's just accept it for what it is. Yep, it's time. Okay. Hopefully died. Thank you. Dude, this eerie you know, it's fun. bandage, finally. It's like I'm Fortniting out here. Behind me? We're just running. Last thing you see before it's getting slimed in Silent Hill F. Hanako! I'm just gonna be like, no. Please, no. Please, no. No, dude. I don't want to deal with this. No, I'm sorry. Hanako, you have to go. Why does it always do that? Brother. Come on. Come on. Come on. Finally. Divine water. Ow. Perfect. Okay. All right, let's continue, chat. Holy hell. I'm glad that I have this on me now. How about Renko? Oh man, whatever happens to Renko, I don't fucking care. Bastard had the audacity. Woman had the audacity to fucking push me down the stairs. So what? And she's like, I did it for you, Shu. She doesn't want you, woman. Okay. Now I can see what's going on in here. Hello?
Shoko. こんなところに
Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can Dude, we're gonna see.
Sakuko?
He has to say, bro, this is.
Sakuko なの?
We're gonna say Sakuko, and then guess what? Her face is gonna be fucking deformed, and then she's like, dude, I'm here with this evil spirit, the yokai spirits. I'm living my life in hell. Yippee. I'll smile. I'm not. I fucked up. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, so you wanna say yes, but it doesn't make sense. What do you mean?
どこ?
Oh, hell no, I didn't even see that the first time. Are you serious? Are we serious? No. Piss off. Yeah, please. Get away from me. You know, chat, maybe I need to start... Actually, this is a sick weapon. I'm not gonna lie. If used correctly, I think this is a great weapon. Alright, holy hell. Suzuka, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna let you rest in peace. Okay, where do I go? Oh, Sanako! Thank God, dude. Kuduzo tea. I'm regrettably regretting giving that before. He doesn't see me. He doesn't see us. He does not see us. I appreciate you for at least... Okay, alright, fuck it. That's one. Get up again. That's two. Get up again. That's three. Get up again. Oh my God. I hate this thing so much. But so anytime I do it, like, this hard mode is not for the weak. I'm all the way back here. Okay, no, I'm speedrunning the shit out of this. I'm speedrunning the hell out of this. Nope, I know where you are. Thank you. That's one. That's two. And that's three. Alright, now I'm not fucking around. Gosh. So, bro. Please. There's a save point. Oh my God, there's a save point. Someone's looking out for me. It's gonna be a fucking boss. Can I leave? A stone orb seems to be made from the same oh. Now I gotta run back, don't I? What? Okay. I need to go up. Okay. No. No. Please. We don't got time for this, Hanako. Bro. You died. I wanted to save you like 4 times, Hanako. Like, what is she talking about? Okay. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna just go left. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Hanako, I'm sorry. I have to. I need you gone. I'm sorry. You have to go. Yeah, not this shit again. Holy hell. No, not this last time, man. God, get me out. Yeah, Sakako, she's gotta go. Sakako. Yeah, man. I'm good. A bizarre monster that looks like a bunch of silhouette dolls intertwined. Each of these dolls was most likely some child's best friend. Do you think that would appear in my nightmares? That's fucking disgusting. Oh. Bro. Please. Please let me go back. Please. No. Fucking way. Oh, right here. Thank you. Because I was about to say there's no way. So we have a boss battle. We have a boss battle. And who is this supposed to be? Sekiko? Oh, hell no. This is her, then. I would lose my mind. Oh. Oh, hell no. Why am I... Why am I lagging? Um... Yeah, I did. Oh, I could have... Okay. Okay. Please. I'm so sorry, Sakiko. I'm so sorry. Blame Hanako. But blame Riku. It's her fault. Oh, she's so ugly. I missed both of those. You can stun her apart from her spell. Wait, hold on. You can't stun her apart from her spell phase, so light attacks are the only thing worth doing. Oh, okay. Dude, she's talking about the 500. All right. It's a pretty long fight. Really? Okay. Oh my god. Brother, I'm basically dead. Press down on the D-pad. You want to see something? Well, I'm glad I did that myself. Oh, wow. I just don't want to see that. Okay. So basically, all bosses are terrible messes stamina-wise. If you aren't consistently perfect dodging to get your... Really? Well, I know exactly after this boss. Bro. I didn't even get a chance to dodge again? Okay. There's a charm that does... Oh, I do have it. It's a matter of where do I want to put it exactly. So stamina is the most important thing in this game. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that. Okay. Imagine lost in the fog difficult. Dude, I would have lost my mind. Okay. Just... Hanako hasn't been saved. Did I say I want to change my difficulty? No, I'm not changing my difficulty. Damn it! I started this game this way. I'm gonna end it this way. Do you understand me, boy? Oh my god. I was trying to heal. I fucked up. If you can move behind her with that part 2 tech, she can't hit you with the chain. Really now? Nocturne.
咲子どうして何なの
It took me three very long tries. Yeah, I could see why. What's that on the ground? Trying to see what's on the ground. Motherfucker. Oh, by the way, on the bridge edge, as you progress, bandages spawn. So I wasn't crazy. I was like, what the? Bro, Sonico just came out of nowhere. Alright. My fucking back? Oh my god. Okay. I can see why you're saying what you were saying earlier about how it feels like Elden Ring, because what the fuck? Yeah, come on. Okay. Okay. Did I not dodge? Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, let's just keep it moving. Okay. 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 Yeah, how about this? Okay. Okay, your max stamina will decrease if you. Okay, yeah, I. Okay.
咲子どうして裏切り者一体何なの
I just got work in the morning and tomorrow, so I'm gonna see. All right, see you later, Spunk. Oh my god, please. Okay. Okay. Trying to get the hang of it now. I say that as I just walk into that. You know what? When she does it, I gotta go forward. I have to go forward. I can't go anywhere else. It's forward. I'm too close. Every time I want to do the counter, I end up not doing the counter at all because there's no point in me doing the counter at all, chat. I don't understand how the fuck am I supposed to beat this boss fight at all. Woo! Okay. That was not my fault. Are you serious? The one time I could have done it, damn. Okay. 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 I'm dead. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this real? Oh my god. Okay. Did I not? I didn't like. I really thought I healed enough and I was dodged out of the way, but okay, I guess not. Unfortunate.
あっち行け。咲子、どうして？一体何なの？
Okay. When I get hit by that, I've got to stop thinking that it's gonna turn into what I think it is, because most times it ends up not being what I think. Okay. Okay. I was way too close that time. I think fuck, I was about to say no. Dude, there's no way, right? There's no way, right? There's no way, right? There's no way. There's why am I hold on, chat, give me 1 second. Hold on. Why did that pop up? Why did that pop up? Why did that okay. Let's see. I was so close to beating her now. Oh, hell no. Okay, all right. Chat, let me lock in. I can beat her. I can beat her. I thought I was far away enough. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? I would have just countered, but I didn't think I had enough. All right, hold on. Dude. Okay. Bro. What? Oh my god. Dude. I dodged! I dodged! I dodged. Okay.
咲子どうして一体何なの
Okay, so I'm starting to see the pattern now. The only time it ever goes rainbow is if when it dodges me. Like so. That tracking is bullshit, man. That tracking is such bullshit. Thank you. Okay. Bro. Are you serious? Dude. Okay.
咲子どうして裏切り者一体何なのきなこを助けに来たのよ咲子お願いだからやめて私を置いてかないで許してあげるから帰ってきて
Dude, what am I supposed to do there? There's a bandage right over there. The bandage is right there. I'm looking right at it. Thank you. Please. What am I supposed to do there? I'm lagging? Dude. Oh my god. I forgot I could run. That entire time, I forgot that I could run. Oh shit. Come on. I feel like we're so close. I dodged! Oh my god. Holy crap. Thank God there's only 2 phases. I dodged. Okay.
咲子どうして一体何なの
Okay. Come on, dude. Like, you've been on the second phase forever now. What? Dude, come on. I know you're almost dead. Dude, nothing? Okay. Dude, how long is this fucking boss fight? Like, hold on. How long is this fucking... $10? I have to fight this fucker for 10 minutes? Dude, 10 minutes? Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing the heavy attacks because this shit, I'm not dealing with this. 10 minutes?
サクコどうして一体何なのサクコお願いだからやめて私を置いてかないでよ許して血が止まらないなんとかしないと
Oh my god. Okay, dude, we're getting to a point where it's just like, why? Hold on, chat. Oh my gosh.
咲子どうして一体何なの
All right, you know what, chat? Okay. We are going to begin this tomorrow because I don't know if my game is glitched or something, but I spent so much time on this. It's almost 3 o'clock. And I gotta go to bed because I have something to do tomorrow. But with that, chat, I'm gonna go ahead. My entire mouth and everything hurts. Oh my god. But with that, chat, hopefully you guys all enjoyed today's stream. I'm gonna go figure out this boss because this is pissing me off. But I'll see each and every one of you guys all tomorrow. Excuse me. You guys have a great day, night, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Night, chat. Bye.